Good morning, people of the cardboard. So we have new announcements coming out Blazing Dominion. This is a couple new reveals, and this is Archfiend support. So remember, in the last set, which I've already Burst Protocol, thank you. We got this new Archfiend support that was all focused around this ritual monster guy, right? And this guy was kind of a towers that could board wipe on summon. It was pretty interesting. The entire deck was based around this. Well, it turns out they are continuing. Now, this is kind of weird, especially because, as you can see, we have a new ritual monster. Actually, I know I hate jumping around. It's probably, okay. So the previous one was a scale 0, and this is scale 9. So technically, this could just work in pendulums. Archfiends have very little other pendulum support outside of that one Archfiend, I think. I always forget that card. The one that can pop a spell on when it's in the pendulum zone, and then you contribute to pop a monster on the field. Anyway. But this is interesting. I'll kind of talk about where I think the entire theme is at after reviewing it. So let's get into it. So starting off with the new ritual monster, this is Death Regina Archfiend, or Doom Regina Archfiend. Wow, they really wash it down to get to English. It's level 7 Light Fiend Ritual Pendulum. Just checking. Okay. So this is cool because this is a light fiend. I think there might have been another Archfiend in the last set that's also light fiend. So that's cool. So theoretically, this could work if you wanted to play it with Fiendsmith. Obviously, this deck isn't playing in Genesis anyway. So anyway, it's attack 21, defense 29. It's a scale 9 pendulum effect monster. You can only use the pendulum effect of this card's name once per turn. So you can target one Archfiend spell trap in your graveyard to banish it to destroy this card, and if you do, add that card to your hand. Okay, interesting. This is cool because this is a pendulum effect you can use going first. I'm not even going to switch to it anymore, but the previous pendulum monster could pop a spell trap by destroying it, and that's important because you want to ritual summon these from your or to your EMZ, so they have to be on your extra deck. You can't just summon them from your hand. So this is cool. There's another way you can dump it to your extract, but this is really nifty. This one can just do it and net you advantage while doing it. The fact that it's an Arching spell trap, it's a little worse because it's a lot of their monsters they're adding you cards, but that's fine. All right, so let's look at the monster effect. You can ritual summon this card with Throne of Archfiends. That's a really cool card we'll get into. It must be ritual summoned. You can only use the first of monster effect this card's name once per turn. So if this card's ritual summoned, you can destroy all spell traps your opponent controls. Then if this card is in the extra monster, you can banish all spell traps in your opponent's graveyard. Oh, that's really interesting. And then this is unaffected by monster effects while on the EMZ. So this is cool. The previous one was just a board wipe for monsters. Yeah. So just the previous one just banished all monsters. This is cute. I like that. It's this indirect destroy them all, then banish them from the grave. That's pretty cool. And then we have Archfiend's Usurpation. All right, this is quickly spell cards. I have high hopes. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. Activate one of these effects. Set one Archfiend trap from your deck or graveyard. It can be activated this turn. Cool. Ritual summon one Archfiend ritual monster from your hand or face of extract by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose total levels equal or exceed its level. All right, this is what the deck needs. This solves everything. Because as you just saw before, the two ritual monsters need to be summoned, like they're board wipes, right? The previous one popped monsters, this one popped spell traps, and the main challenge you had was that you couldn't really proc it during your opponent's turn because you need to use the ritual spell. So this is cool that you can actually, now theoretically use these as disruptions to set this. And then you can just go, okay, cool. Oops, sorry. During your opponent's turn, summon this out, banish all their monsters. And this card's unaffected, so it's really hard to negate. So this is a really cool card. I think this is exactly what the support needed. Now, I do want to go through and look through Archfiend traps. Now, there's more for sure because some traps are Archfiend traps. There's like Archfiend Ghastly Glitch, which is like basically as long as you have a Fiend on field, I think you can pop a monster your opponent controls and then Foolish a Fiend, which is cool because you can send your Heiress and that searches you another. So it's still good. Here's the other Light Fiend. These were all about getting monsters to the field. The two traps they have, this one lets you basically just E-Telly Archfiend from your deck. And you can summon up to 3 if you have an Archfiend Ritual monster. What is cool, and I didn't notice it at the time, is that this works with all these cards work with any Archfiend Ritual monster. And there's a couple more than just, what they're recently putting out. But now this all works with the new pendulum, the light pendulum Archfiend Ritual Monster. And this one, if you control Archfiend Ritual and EMZ, you can basically just negate a monster's effects. So this is fine. And then if this is banished, you can add an Archfiend card. So I think this card's mostly going to be used as a method of ritual summon during your opponent's turn, which is really cool because there's just no motivation to do it any other way. But even if you want to, let's say you want to plop this card onto the field, it's unaffected by other monsters' effects, you can then use this to tribute off and dodge because there are spell effects that can out it. So you could go and use this to tribute off that monster you do have, or the monster you do have to summon one back, which is big because a lot of the new Archfiends, all this clause that if your Archfiend ritual monster is destroyed by battle while it's in the graveyard, you can summon it back out. So this lets you kind of make use of that. So if your opponent does out it by battle, it's nice. It's still, again, the deck, it does have holes for sure. I would say like anything that's spell trap based removal really hurts this deck. Because both of the new boss or new and old boss monster, they're just not affected by monster effects. So if it's just an imperm can kind of ruin this deck's day. So I think this is nice too. You can basically wait till your opponent actually commits and then summons this big boss monster to ruin their day. Imperm's not a threat at that point. I think there's a lot of hope. Other things to talk about. So there have been actually, since we got the last cards announced, new cards have come out. They're pretty cool and do help the deck. So a brief recap because I don't think I'm going to be making a second video on this. Let's see. Miracle Raven does exist. This is cute because you can use it to add a ritual monster from your deck to your hand. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. It's not like the end all be all, but it's okay. There is this Archfiend Matador. This is an older card I just didn't know about. We don't have it in the TCG because Konami hates us. But on Ritual Summon adds to Archfiend cards. Cute. This is the ritual spell I was talking about before. So this can summon it from anywhere, which is really cool. I like that when they do that. So this can summon ritual monsters from hand, face back track, graveyard, or banishment. And then you still tribute from hand or field. But the benefit of this, it's cute, is during the standby phase, you can add this back as long as you have the previous boss monster. You can add. So I mean, it's cute that they name it. It sucks that they didn't have both names on it. And I think it's just that this one can be a search by that pre-prep or whatever new version of it. And then the last card I want to talk about, they do have this new End of the World ruler that can basically copy any ritual spell from deck, which is nice. This is a Fiend itself, so Fiend support, yay. And you can use this as the tribute basically for it, which is cool. It does. You still need to get these monsters in the EMZ, which it still has issues. I'm not going to lie. Like, there's not a great way of doing it, and I doubt this deck isn't going to work with other pendulum stuff. So the only way they have is your field spell. Yeah, the field spell. You can add one Archfiend monster, so it's cute. But you can add one to your pendulum. To your extract face up. But it sucks because then you can't use the search effect on it. And it's a once per turn. But anyway, I do think it's cute that this card can banish your ritual spell to summon out. And then what's cute is that during the following standby phase, this can add back from graveyard or banishment. So you can get the ritual spell back. So it's nice. It's not perfect. I think there's definitely some flaws. I think the deck still is going to be challenging to deal with back row. I think this card's really cute for dealing with that, which is nice. I wish this card could be unaffected by spells too. I think this one deserves it. But I do think having a spell banished from the graveyard is very rare and is actually kind of a killer against some decks. Like, I think you could argue that decks like Dracotel, they're trying to recycle their traps. And if you just banish all of them, summon this in defense mode, banish them all, they're kind of boned. Obviously, they can negate spells, so it's not perfect. But I think this is a really good start. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think these cards are good? Do you think they're really bad? Be sure to like and subscribe while you're there. Anyway, it's Fun Deck signing out. Until next time, bye.